So that is the problem. So anyway, that is gone off my, the weight is removed.
But you should document something, which is, you can communicate to any levels.
No,
And you can make it something like, medium, so that people can pick up, especially the corporate world very well, which connects with the corporate world. And if they can start their spiritual journey when they join the corporate, they will get leadership skills.
No, that
leadership skills and more efficiency and spiritual journey. That will be amazing for anyone.
No, that is true, but that is already there in YouTube. I'm recording, so if somebody wants to listen, that is always there. See, the idea was to write a book so that people can read. So I was saying that in this current thing is that people go by digital, and let us say somebody is traveling from their place to Whitefield or whichever place, they get around 2 hours. They can't be reading a book in a van or wherever, so they can always listen to the audio. So now audio books are becoming more easily accessible, and most of the people are making audiobooks. And with this corona thing, people are making more of audios or videos rather than going by the printed matter.
That I agree. Knowledge point of view, yes, that is true.
So I was telling him it is already there, and then anyway, somebody had asked for it. So then this person said that, why don't you reconsider? So I reconsidered and said I will do it. But then yesterday he gave me a lot of feedback and assignment and all that, and then I was noting it down. And the idea was, when I asked him that, did you feel anything after reading, after listening? So he was looking it from a very literature perspective. So then I said, it's not going to make any sense to me, because I am not interested in any literature kind of thing where my book should come and it should be popular, and I am writer of so and so books and all that. That's not my path anyway. So there's no point in I getting involved with it. So in the evening I told him that I don't think so I have the ability to write in a way where a normal person can understand. I can only talk from what I know. I cannot really think beyond and say that, oh, it should be like this, it should be like that, because then there is no intuition. It's already fabricated. Good morning, Padmashri.
Morning, Padmashri.
Good morning, Vilas.
Morning, Padmashri.
So we were talking something till you come so that we can start the bus.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. We have not got used to it, and then unfortunately we are not able to come to your home also.
It looks like you might have to stay here for months together in my house if I have to.
Yeah, so that is not a feasible solution. So let's do the way it is. Okay, so now we come to the 114. So prajnavan api panditaah api chaturaah api atyanta sukshmatma drig vyalidah tamas na vetti samboditaah bahuda api sputam भ्रांत्या आरोपितम एव साधु कलयति आलंबते तद्गुणान् हंत असौ प्रबला दुरंत तमसाः शक्तेः महते आवृतिः. So prajnavan api panditaihi api chaturaah api atyanta sukshmatma drig. Even the wise, so-called wise, who knows everything about the Vedas, everything about Upanishad, everything about the scripture, how it should be implemented and all of that. And they can be learned, where if you ask them from any page to any page, they can immediately say. and they become Pandita. So what is the meaning of Panditaha? Pand is to ponder, to go deeper. Panditaha is a person, or Pandit is a person who knows what should be known and who can say what should be said and can walk what he talks. So this is the meaning of Pandita. The root word is Pund, means to know, to acquire. So when you have Pandit, it means that the person walks the talk. And Atyanta Sukshmatma Drig, they have a proficient and a profound insight into the subtle aspect of self. Vyalidaha, at times, Tamasa, they get overpowered by Tamas. What is this Tamas? This Tamas is name and fame. Two enemies which can spoil spirituality. Like the book example which I got. So if I had written the book and then becomes very popular, let's say it becomes a bestseller, then there are requests for writing further more books, and I start writing books. Then there are accolades, and there are gifts, and there are bahumana, wherein the mana gets increased, bahu, in different ways. Mana is the vanity. So my existence becomes such an important thing because I am contributing so much to the society. So this is what Tamas can do. Even with this much of knowledge what I have gained, it can just go in few days time when I start identifying myself that this is what I am. Navetti samboditaha. So they don't even grasp their own teaching. Bahudaha api sputam, even though explained in good sense or very clearly. Bhrantya aropitam eva sadhu kalayati alambate tad gunan. What is simply superimposed, that is Bhranti. So Patanjali calls it as Bhranti Darshana. Bhranti means hallucination. So this world of gifts and garlanding someone or doing something is the worst ever delusion you can get into. So if somebody calls me on stage and gives me some gifts and articles and comes in the press, and then I cut that paper and keep it, and that is called Bhranti. So now Aropitam eva sadhu kalayati alambate tadgunan. So they consider that to be real. And they talk about spiritual, but they are totally deluded. It's not spiritual at all. Because these effects of people meeting and rejoicing and commenting and then congratulating and all of that gets back into tamas. So the rajas, instead of going towards sattva, it again goes towards tamas, because it has that power to wield or to cover up anything that comes. That's what tamas can do. Hanta asau prabalaha duranta tasmaha shaktehi mahate avritaha. It's such an amazing thing to see how powerful is this tamas, which by itself doesn't do anything, but it can give a curtain. So it can wheel things, that it can cover things up so beautifully. So even though the person is talking spiritual, says that I am a highly spiritual person, then when he says highly spiritual, itself shows that he is highly tamasic, because he doesn't have to say I am spiritual or I am not spiritual. So that itself shows that he is already engulfed by tamas. It's very delicate, because why? If he is spiritual, the other person will anyway come to know, and he doesn't bother whether people recognize him spiritual or they treat him non-spiritual. It doesn't really matter to him, or it should not matter to him. And by nature, automatically, if somebody is spiritual, people will come to know that they are spiritual. From their talks, it will address to those people who have some inclination towards spirituality. So they will anyway come to know. So he doesn't have to advertise that I am a very spiritual person, I am a very religious person, and I believe in God, I do this, I do that, because that is going to damage him more than being a materialistic person, because tamas can cause that easily. And then in 115 verse, he talks about what is the other attribute of tamas: abhavana, non-apprehension and non-acceptance of truth. Abhavana va viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana is incorrect judgment and understanding. So let's say I am obsessed with a religion, and I try to superimpose everything on that religion, saying that this is the only thing you need to do. And that is wrong. So the person doesn't know there are various ways of knowing the truth. What he samskara says, he believes that that is the only way one can look at the truth. So they commit into debates and fights. So in the normal world, people have debates on various topics. So there is a panelist, so you debate. Even on the spiritual side, there is this debate where the person comes and he will be garlanded as a pandita. So now he will show his panditya, proficiency, and say that, look, I was able to defeat this person. That is bhavana, abhavana, asambhavana, both are there. And viparita pattihi asyaha, and nurturing the doubt over the truth. Because now, let's say I am able to defeat a Shankaracharya follower, or a Shankaracharya follower is able to defeat a Madhva follower, or they are able to defeat some other follower, or they are able to convert from A religion to B religion. So they don't know the truth at all. Conversion is the worst thing that can happen. So samsara yuktam na vimuchanti dhruvam vikshepa shaktihi kshapayati ajashram. Samsarga yuktam na vimuchanti dhruvam. One who is firmly gripped, dhruva is stable, by this wheeling power. Na vimuchanti dhruvam. So that means he is holding on to his view. Samsarga. Sarga is to cover, to hold and cover. Just like when two people are marrying, they hold one clothing till they garland. So the boy and the girl are standing, and a wheel is put, or a curtain is put, until the mantra chanting is over, and then they the garland. So that is called as antarpata. And on a similar line, this samsarga happens, where you know the truth, but you know only one side of the truth, or the person knows only one side of the truth, and is firmly gripped with that. Samsargayuktam na vimuchanti dhruvam vikshepa shaktihi kshapayati asra ajasram. The projecting power becomes so overwhelming that it gives endless trouble to the owner. Yeah, but we wanted to say something.
I just wanted the clarity, definition clarity between vikshepa and avarana.
Yeah,
This talks about vikshepa, right? All this. That's a falsehood.
yeah, falsehood.
What is vikshepa and what is avarana here?
Okay, what do you understand by vikshepa?
Vikshepa is something inside, right?
The vikshepa is what powers things up. In projection is vikshepa. The shakti is the power. Vikshepa is to project whatever you want to project. Let us say I want to project I am a humble human being. That is a projection.
Okay.
That is a projection. But who is saying I am humble? I am saying it. So it has avarana. It can cover it up.
So I am humble. That is the core. And I am trying to project is called vikshepa, right?
Yes. Now I am projecting.
I may be actually humble, for example.
Yes.
And I am trying to project means it is vikshepa.
Yes. I am trying to project, because if you are humble, you know you are humble. So why should you project?
Yeah, there is no need. It is automatically should be known, like a flower at the time of blossoming.
Yes.
You get that suasana.
Correct.
That is because of ajnana only we do it.
Yes. And that is what this bhranti will happen.
Tanna bannisabeda, idira haliyalu beda.
Correct.
Tanna bannisabeda is this.
Yes. Tanna bannisabeda. So
Basavanna's vachana.
yeah. So now what happens is, because of the popularity, I start framing things for myself. So even a spiritual person will get caught up in tamas.
Anything self-projection is nothing but vikshepa. But in this real world, you have to give introduction about yourself to others.
Yes.
That introduction, you have to talk something about yourself without ahambhava.
Yes. So
But that is also vikshepa, or somebody should give your introduction?
No,
And I have no expectation somebody talks about me. That is okay.
yes, that is very much okay. See, like what you are doing in that Zoom, right? So somebody talks about you. He is KS Bhatt and so and all that. As long as you don't take it as it is about you, you don't have vikshepa.
Okay, vikshepa is tamoguna related. That means
Yes.
you are not supposed to have.
That's not you're supposed to have. See, what happens is, let us say, if you remember, but when we went to your hometown, to your home, so there was one gathering you made where I'm supposed to talk something, correct? Now, the tamoguna and vikshepa we can see there. Okay. The moment you say that I want to introduce somebody who knows this and that and all that, correct?
Yeah.
What is the effect of that? What is the effect of that introduction on me? Is the question.
You will not have any change in your mind. If you have change, then you are
In vikshepa.
in vikshepa. That means tamoguna is suddenly coming up. That
Yes.
ahambhava.
Aham bhava will come, because now I feel very happy about you that you introduce so many people to me.
Yeah.
So what if you had not introduced anyone to me? Let's say as an example.
For you doesn't matter. It's like exactly like a flower. Doesn't matter somebody appreciates it or not.
Exactly, it should be
It
like
will do
that.
its duty. Yes.
It should be like that. But what happens is when Panditya takes over, when that it's like getting intoxicated with knowledge. So let's say, but I am able to talk about so many philosophies all at once. So somebody is asking me about this philosophy and somebody is asking me that philosophy. So I am able to answer everybody's question. At the end, there is a clap saying that, wow, what an explanation. Okay, they are clapping to the knowledge, but whom am I clapping myself to? Not to the knowledge. I am clapping to myself.
Yes.
They are clapping to the knowledge. They are not clapping to me. If I know that, then I'm in sattva. If not, I might be spiritual. Absolutely true. I might be spiritual. I might know all the subject. You can ask me from any side, I'm going to answer. But again, still I'm in tamas. Okay, so this is very dangerous. Meaning,
Yeah. That is the reason we say vidyaya vinayena cha.
yes. No, vidya vinayena shobhate.
That's what. Vidya and Vinaya together is great.
Yes. So now when you have vidya, so somebody is, let us say, three of you are saying you have good knowledge. Do I have good knowledge or the knowledge has come to me? That is the question.
Correct. We should think from that side.
I should think like that. It is not I have knowledge. The knowledge has come to me. It has been gifted due to good karma. That's all. It's not that it just came. So if I know that it has come to me due to good karma and not due to anything, then there is no possession orientation. Without
Yeah, I got it. No vikshapa, no avarana. By that.
no avarana, because if
Then you are truly shining with your original form of that Shakti.
correct. So the thing is, everybody reads Vedas. Let's say I go to a class and I start reciting Vedas. There are people who can recite very well. There are people who cannot recite at all, no matter what they do. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, does their effort give fruit, or they are supposed to get it automatically? You tell me that. They are putting effort to exactly say Sanskrit in the way it should be said. Everybody does that, right? But there are only few people who can recite it without any flaw. And there are people who cannot recite it without a flaw. They will have some flaw. Their words don't come up.
Yeah.
Okay, now question comes between sattva and tamas. If he's a sattvic person, he knows the knowledge has come to him because of his punya phala. The tamas person,
Yeah. Yes.
tamas person feels that he is the person who is studying Vedas.
Yes.
That's the difference. But that's a huge difference.
Yes.
So this is how that
That
tamas.
is Bhagavat Spurana, because of which if it happens, it is all Bhagavantana Ichche.
Correct. So
That is the reason I think everywhere we say it's a Krishnarpanamastu.
correct, because you
And every time also we say it is that Bhagavanta Prityartham.
correct,
What we do for his Prityartha and finally for him.
correct,
So Sagara, water is again going back to Sagara.
correct.
Nothing is mine.
Nothing.
I am only, they use the word Hetu, right? Hetu means because of this our Prarabdha.
Cause, only the cause.
Cause.
Hetu and phala. So there is a cause and effect. So because of the karmic causes that I can talk very well, I am able to talk. See, I will give another example. Let's say I and my wife, we are watching these days a lot of birds on YouTube you get a lot of these birds which harm other birds. So there are in the nest some small sparrow or whatever that bird is, and it is just laid it just come out and few days, and parents are feeding, and when the parents go away, another bird will come and pick it and eat live, without any kind of feeling. It will eat, and while that poor baby or whatever is wriggling in pain. Okay, so that is how tamas is. So a person will never come to know that he is hurting himself and he is hurting others. That is how tamas.
No, that way, if you see, the Prakriti is made that one jiva is ahara to another jiva.
Correct.
This is a cyclic.
Yeah, that's right.
So, is there a papa and punya there when in that cycle?
Yes, there is.
Forget about human being. Human being can manage with the vegetarian, but I am talking about animal. Their cycle is like that. Is there any emotion? There is no emotion, and there is no papa and punya also, right?
No.
It is just instinct based.
No. Because of high grade tamas, they don't feel anything. That what they are doing is wrong. And tamas, the darkest tamas is the highest delusion. No light can penetrate there. It's like what we call as black hole. No light can enter. So that is the reason all the sages, whoever has written, has said that human birth is very rare. And Shankaracharya talks about it in the beginning itself. Manava, being born as a human, you are so lucky, and you are able to get this, you are able to get that. Don't waste.
That is true.
But logically, then if you put this, extrapolate this logic, Vilas, eating non-vegetarian is bad, right? That
Correct.
means you are growing something,
Yes.
and then you are killing it and eating it.
Correct.
So, but on other occasions when we say no, there is no papa punya in eating is a requirement. On some other occasion you had mentioned. So now, how do you really look at these two things?
Very good question. See, now it is like this, Padmashri. If you are killing anything, then that is papa. If the animal is...
Yeah, right. You are needing it. Say, if somebody has killed and you are eating it, is also because you are eating it, they are killing it. So
No.
it is a logical thing. No.
Right, absolutely,
No, how you
absolutely.
can say that one?
No, wait.
When there is a demand, only there is a supply.
Absolutely, I agree. I am talking about the earlier times, not today or
No,
what we...
no. Today, no. If you remember, on many other occasions you have mentioned it. Just
Yes, I
because
have
you
mentioned
are
it.
eating non-vegetarian, it is not that it is papa or something like
No,
that.
no,
You
let-
had mentioned it earlier.
Let me give you the correct way again. See, now there is a word called as mamsa. So we have to understand what it really means, and then we will come to know. Ma-amsa is cutting the essence, is what mamsa. So it is there in fruit, it is there in vegetable, it is there in meat also. That mamsa. And it is there in our body, called as mamsa. That means once the essence is removed, it turns itself into what is called as mamsa, or in English, if we were to use, flesh. So there is flesh in the fruit, there is flesh in the vegetable, there is flesh in the body. Okay. Now there are two kinds of living beings, one with mind and one without mind. And in the case of plants, there is no mind, and trees also, there's feeling, but there is no mind as such, which can do something other than what we see in the other species starting from let us say an amoeba kind of thing to a virus, not virus, this tapeworm, ringworm, all of that taken together to human being. All these have mind, so they know how to safeguard their self. Okay, now from a realistic standpoint, when we talk about mamsa, There is neither punya nor papa in mamsa. It is just mamsa. Okay, and that means you are cutting essence. So what you need, what I and you, if we are spiritual, need to know is that we are cutting essence of everything, and then what is inside our body is also essenceless, because after that extraction is done, it just puts itself as flesh. So that is exactly what it is. Now coming to papa and punya, when it is papa and when it is punya, or is there anything called as papa or anything called as punya? Now if there are sentient beings, that means they can sense and they can think and they can escape. Three things are happening. Now all animals and birds and insects and whatever we have, different species, can think, can escape, can do all of that, because it has mind to its core. And now when it has mind to its core, it also has consciousness. Plant also has consciousness, animal also has consciousness, bird also has consciousness, everything has consciousness. Now generally when you or I or anybody is killing for eating, it means that we are cutting its karma. Its karma phala is cut. So it has to again take rebirth to continue from where it has left. So generally, you are not supposed to kill anything and eat. Okay, this is what it is. Now it has got modified so badly that it has become like it's become itself a cycle. There is a supply and there is a demand. So if there is no demand, there is no supply. So if people were to stop eating non-vegetarian, then there would be people who will not be killing. So in Leh, especially in Ladakh, when Dalai Lama visited, I think 4 years ago, so he made a rule that none of the Buddhists in Ladakh will ever touch meat. In fact, all the Buddhists across Vajrayana sect people, they eat meat. So what Dalai Lama did is that he, for I think when I was there in 2016, I think so, he made that announcement that from today nobody is going to touch meat. So you cannot buy something from market and eat, even though it is killed for whatever reason, or it is dead for whatever reason, and then you are bringing it, but you are not killing it. But the very fact that you are buying and eating means that you are instigating somebody to kill it and sell it. So why don't you stop eating? So they implemented that in the Leh district majorly, and Kargil district some people agree to it, but not all. But at least Leh district, they implemented it. So 2016, 2017, these 2 years, the meat production totally fell down. So the Muslims who were there, they couldn't really sell it, because now they can only kill for themselves, so they cannot eat it. So in some villages, even the Muslims stopped eating, because they also felt that this is not right, that we are killing something and eating. So many of the Muslim households, they started eating vegetarian food rather than bringing in non-vegetarian. So there was a huge shift between how it used to be few years ago, and after Dalai Lama made that made people to take oath that from today they are not going to eat non-vegetarian. And even till today, that is 2021 now, they don't eat non-vegetarian. So you are right, it's like, if you have demand, then there is supply. So if we were to know that the true meaning of mamsa is ma amsa, if we were to know that word correctly, and amsa is in Sanskrit becomes amsha. So mamsa is amsha removed out, meaning essence removed out. So if you remove the essence of anything, it becomes flesh. So if you look at the tree, its essence is removed and becomes a fruit, and then ultimately if you really see how it get destroyed, you can watch it. It brings out all the parts of it, just gets out, and it gets splintered out, meaning it not even one of the part will remain, and the seed will come out, and then the seed becomes a tree again. So the seed has the essence but not the fruit. So this fruit, what we call, is called mamsa. Now the only difference between the plant life and the human and any other life or animal or bird or whatever insect life is, these have mind, and that has mind is attached to consciousness. So it has taken that birth due to its condition and its karma. So nobody has right to cut the karma of that person. So in that way it works.
Right. So, in essence, we are saying that only people with that kind of meaning. When you said the amount of tamasa that is there in that bird which eats that birdling,
Right.
it is the same amount of tamasa which is there when we kill and eat.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you. Same.
And also the karmas which are there, like you mentioned, the person who grows vegetable and we take that vegetable and eat it, his karma's essence is also brought into our food.
Yes.
So our body is made of all those people's karma also, meaning it is you get that what do you call the people who grow are also an important part in building your body.
Absolutely,
your body.
absolutely. So
Yes.
that is the reason you have to nullify their karmic effect by doing this before eating. You have to pray, and then you have to say that let them be happy, because their karma is attached to what we are eating.
Yes.
That is true. That's 100% true.
Especially even after eating also you do that.
Yes, even after.
Say Annadata Sukhi Bhava, it goes up to the person who has sowed the seed and brought the
Yes, absolutely,
your table.
absolutely, because the digestive power what we have, like when we go somewhere, some people, they all eat the same thing, but some people get affected by the food and some people don't get affected by the food. The reason is that the mentality with which they have brought that grain, and the mentality with which they have prepared the food interferes with your mentality, and that shows itself as diseases. So you have to nullify effect everywhere. So we need to pray before eating, and we need to pray after eating also. That is true.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Okay. No, because I was a little bit confused because earlier, long back, vegetarian or non-vegetarian is the same kind of a view was there, I thought.
No. At that time also told the same thing. It's about ma amsa. That is, you are removing the essence. So basically, even in the vegetarian food, like you rightly said, Padmashri, the person who is growing the grains is greedy. So he is also having dvesha. If the price is not coming, he will show it on the grain what he has grown. And when it comes into the market, there are so many greedy people who add their margin and this and that. And when it comes to your home, it has got added raga, dvesha, moha in good amount of quantity.
Correct. But the difference slightly is that the one which wanted to escape, we didn't allow it to escape or get safeguarded.
Yes.
And that was killed.
Yes.
So they both are not.
They are not the same. No, they are not at all the same, because this one you can nullify. This is only not that much greed and hate and delusion of what the grain grower is versus the animal way of living, where you take a bird or you take a animal and cut it and eat it. That is two different things. It's not the same. Here in the case, let us say I bring what I can say, I bring a sheep or a goat or something and I cut it and eat it. Let's say I am directly taking its karma. There is no middleman here, and I don't have a right to do that, to cut somebody's karma. I don't have a right, even though it is made out of vegetarian food only in the end, meaning that sheep or goat has eaten on grass or something like that. But I cannot equate that saying that no, this is exactly the same as what we eat as vegetable. No, they're two different things. In the case of vegetable, there is no mind and there is no karma attached to it. Whereas in the case of animal, there is mind and there is karma. They both are not the same. So earlier time, if I had given you that impression that they both are the same, and that means I have miscommunicated it, or I've spoken it wrong. That much I can say. So if
even I also have understood similar way what that I thought the food doesn't make much difference. He explained mind and all that, but it is restricted for spiritual seekers was not there. That is one of the reasons initially I was not so much connected with your talks. Because my conscience used to say that it is some problem. So in our practice, it is very clearly we have understood that killing something is not, it's against spirituality.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Now I think it's clear. Thank you.
No worries.
I had the same opinion like what Padma Shri expressed today.
Okay, then I stand corrected. Basically,
Yeah. Then I thought maybe in Buddhism that is allowed.
No. Nowhere it is allowed. In fact, the first precept itself says, Panati Pata Veramani Sikka Padam Samadhiyami. That means I will do samadhi to ensure that I don't kill any living being. It is wrong.
Yeah.
Not in Buddhism also. So that is the reason Dalai Lama in the year 2016, he came every year his birthday is celebrated in Leh. So I had opportunity of getting up and close for I think 2-3 years when I was in Leh at that time. So I had the opportunity. So then he made that announcement saying that this year all Buddhists, irrespective of whichever region they are in, will stop eating meat. So 90% of the meat was procured only for Buddhist. Okay, and when they stopped it, actually it used to get shipped from Delhi. That means there is so much of meat eating that they couldn't find it in Ladakh, so I had to import it from Delhi. And with this announcement, it stopped. So Go Air and Jet Airways and all these airlines who used to bring meat, they stopped. So even today, they don't eat meat. At least one of the region which really implemented it as a practice. So it is wrong.
But it is same for almost all religions when they are not religion, I'm talking about spiritual leaders.
Yes.
They maybe by birth they are meat eaters, but finally they give it up, right?
Yes, because when you come to know about karma, law of karma, you will automatically stop eating. Because it is the ignorance, the tamasic guna, which makes a person to eat non-veg.
Correct.
If the tamas is gone, then sattva resides, then that person will not like to eat non-vegetarian, no matter how much is the compulsion.
Yeah, because kaya vacha manasa, we are not supposed to hurt anybody. So here killing animal is coming under that only.
Yes, absolutely. So if I have, since there are 2 people as a witness out of 3, I don't know whether Lata also felt the same, but now the majority says that I gave that impression, that means I stand corrected.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So there is no hiding, there is no arguing that no, I didn't mean that, or I didn't mean this, or whatever. No, then I have not correctly communicated. Okay. Good discussion on this. So now he says the signs of tamas. Ajnanam alasya jadatva nidra pramada mudatva mukhaha तमो गुणः एतैः प्रयुक्तैः न हि व्यक्ति किञ्चित् निद्रालवत् स्तम्भवत् एव तिष्ठति. Ajnana, ignorance, alasya, laziness, jadatva, dullness, nidra, sleep. Okay, now one thing we need to understand. If you eat lentils in night, you get all the four. Okay, that's one thing you need to know. If for spiritual seeker, you shouldn't have evening dinner with lentil and rice. It will make it tamasic. So what has happened, I will tell you, is that when I was doing the Upanayana of my son, we did it in Palimaru Mutt. So that is one of the Udupi Mutt. So there the head priest, so he wanted to talk about Ekadashi, and he said that rice and lentil eating on Ekadashi is banned because it has mamsa. So to make people fear of that, so he said that, but it is not true, that it has got anything to do with mamsa. But in one way it is right, that if you are doing Ekadashi and you are saying that I want to not have any influence on the mind, then you should not eat rice and lentil throughout the day on that day, or rather at least skip lentil and rice in the night every day if you want to progress in spiritual sadhana, because lentil will create all these four. It creates laziness, ignorance, dullness and sleep, because it has high vayu content. So when that vata, pitta, kapha, if you really see, the vata will increase, and because vata will increase, the pitta guna is reduced, and also the kapha guna increases. So kapha creates heaviness, and vata creates a dull kind of feeling. So all these four will happen. So lentil eating for a long time for a spiritual seeker is banned. So he should not eat anything after afternoon, meaning if he has had lentil rice and also curds and rice and so many other things, in the night there is no need for him to eat at all, because that is sufficient enough for the next day also. There's one thing.
How it will become mamsa?
Which one?
Or tama? Yeah, I have understood it's a gastric point of view. It generates inside.
No. It is
not possible to digest. But you have used the word mamsa.
No, that is not my version. That is the version of that head priest.
Okay.
It's not,
It's a health point of view. Yes, you are not supposed to. You should not eat.
right, but that I was not agreeable with that version what he gave. So I felt that he has given that version to make people deter from eating lentil rice on Ekadashi. See, if you say that vata will increase and all that, people will still eat. If they say that it will turn into mamsa, maybe people will stop eating. So all the Brahmins are scared about eating mamsa. So they might literally feel that, oh, mamsa will come, so I will not eat on Ekadashi day. So he was explaining in length how mamsa, all that. I wanted to ask him a question. Sir, if you say like that, your body, how did it turn into mamsa? Can you tell me? If you cut, you will get only mamsa. So how did it change, even though you are not eating lentil and rice on Ekadashi? But it looked very rude if I had asked, and it would have been insulting in front of so many people. So I just stopped doing that mistake. It is wrong. What he said is wrong, but the intent is right. Meaning, it will bring in jadatva, the rice and lentil, especially if you eat on a full moon day or a new moon day or Ekadashi or whatever it is. It will bring in a lot of jadatva, and it will create a lot of tamasic tendencies. So better not to have rice and lentil and curds in the night.
Oh, I was not aware. Curds also same thing, right? Because they used to say don't eat curds in the evening
Yeah,
hours.
curds will make heavy.
But milk is okay. Milk is okay.
Milk is okay, curds is not.
Uh-huh.
Curds, what it
Milk is
does,
also okay.
pardon?
Yeah.
Buttermilk is also okay.
Buttermilk is fantastic. You should not eat curds.
In my native place, no curds in the evening.
Yeah.
I didn't know why.
No, the reason is like this, but the moment you eat curds in the night, especially, okay, it will become very heavy. So the first thing it does, any one of these, that is rice and lentil and curds, the first thing it does is to make tamas increase. So when tamas increases, first thing that comes is laziness. If you have observed, the moment you eat rice and curds, you feel sleepy. You try this out, even in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. In the afternoon, na? It's a perfect example.
Yes, afternoon you feel sleepy because
Yes, we have that.
first you feel lazy, that is you don't want to do anything, then you get sleep, nidra, then you feel dull. After you sleep in the afternoon, let us say you sleep in the afternoon and you get up, you feel very dull.
Oh, yeah, the question is then what we should eat and when and what is the question. I think Bhagavad Gita has come about how to eat and all that.
Yes.
What question is not there? See, we are in now South India. We are the what you call rice eaters.
Correct.
So morning idli, those everything is rice based.
Correct.
Lunch is also rice based. Evening, if you don't get rice, again you feel incomplete.
Correct.
Because of some doctor's diet and all that, people eat chapati and all that. So finally, what is the right food for us?
Okay, so let me explain to you. Now, this is a false information that for diabetic and other things you shouldn't eat rice. It is false. Even B.M. Hegde says that it is false.
Yeah.
The reason I'll tell you why it is false. It is your guna in South India is to eat rice. And the guna of North India, northern part of India, where there is no rice, they are used to eating this wheat. Okay, because your body doesn't take it, basically, because you are from that area, you are built up like that. So even if you eat rice, it is equivalent to wheat when you are eating it in South India. See, let us say the Maharashtra region and the northern part of Karnataka, there is no rice, so you eat jola. That is perfectly fine. So now if I bring a concept saying that jola eating is good, and in Bangalore or in other regions, and say that you should eat only jola, that doesn't work, because your body is not meant for that. So it will not take it. So you have to eat what takes, what you are used to from birth. If you are used to be eating rice, you eat rice. Now what we are supposed to eat is in moderate quantity, not in huge quantity. That's the only difference what we need to do. So it depends upon how much is the energy we are going to expend. That much amount we have to eat. Meaning, let's say our jobs today, we are not going anywhere out, we are sitting at home and we are doing our meetings. So for that you don't have to eat so much, because there is no physical exertion, so you can eat less. So or otherwise, if you are doing farming and you are going in the fields and doing a lot of things, so then you require to eat more, because that is required, something like that. So we need to be very prudent enough to do it. And by the way, it is already 9:30. Maybe we can continue on this.
We can continue tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. Tomorrow my question is egg. Is it veg or non-veg?
It is 100% non-vegetarian.
Because some people eat, that's the reason I have doubt.
No. It is 100% non-vegetarian.
Okay.
So we don't have to wait till tomorrow for this answer. And then I don't want to feel that, I said sometime that egg is vegetarian, now it has become non-vegetarian. No, it is non-vegetarian only.
Okay.
Okay then. See you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.